Welcome to my tiny arts and crafts space. We have this much walking space, the table and whatever's going on here. I'm going to tell you now everything about the craft we're going to do today. It involves t-shirts and fabric paint, so let's get into it. Lately, like I've said already in my last video, I've been thinking about how I could customize my clothing and how I could bring my art into this. My first thought was that I should do lino printing because this is a skill I have already acquired at some point. And I've bought a shirt from someone at an art market that I've organized that has these cute small lino prints on shirts. So I thought I would take you along on the journey with all the successes and failures on how to print on your own clothing. Game plan: 1. Figure out what paints to use and what supplies I still need to gather. 2. Go thrifting and find some clothing items on which I could print on. And then 3. Do the deed. I thought I will first show you which supplies I already have right now. My crafting supplies. Here you can already see some of the lino print stuff I have. This is one of the prints. This is like the first lino print I ever did. We have this big boy to roll around the ink. And then I have this fabric printing ink, but this didn't really work for me and I don't know why. I also have this thingy, I don't know what it's called, to press down on the print to make it print evenly. I have a teeny tiny that squeaks. I have another textile color. Oh, hello. See? Here. This Schmincke lino paint. So these are all of the supplies I currently have at home and we're going to try these out first. Okay, so I feel like today is finally the day to get some printing done. I don't think that I can test all of the paints and inks that I want to test, but I have already prepared the shirt on some cardboard so that we can get started with this. The game plan is that I have a few lino printing inks and a few other types of paint. Since I don't really know what works best for me, I think I need to try it out myself. Here's the shirt. Here are 3 of the paints that are for either lino or like textile painting, textile printing, fabric printing ink, and we have fabric paint. Lino paint from Schmincke. This one should be water-based, these should also be water-based. And I really want to try to just do a test print like this, like you can see. I just really want to get some ink on this strawberry and then try it out. Furthermore, we're also going to do some upcycling. This is my old iPad case, which I also had gotten secondhand and which is already kind of falling apart, so I doubt that anyone would want to have it. But I want to use this plastic or plexiglass to put my paint on there because I don't have any other plexiglass type of thing. I hope you forgive me that I'm misusing this, but as you can see, it's rough. Also, as you can see, God. So that's the plan. I hope you're on board with me with the plan. Today I want to do the lino / fabric paints at least. And then maybe we can try out some more of the stuff that is made for this type of printing actually, like oil paint or something like that. Just to see how it holds up, just to satisfy my experimental streak. Let's get in there. Damn, the fake leather. Oh God. And this is why we don't buy fake leather, that's just plastic, guys. Damn. But before we start, I think I need to get into some proper attire because I'm a messy bitch. So, perfect, hair is up, and then big shirt. Perfect, let's get into printing. I really wanted to mark somehow what paint I'm putting where, and even if this washes out, which I hope it doesn't because it's permanent marker and it should be water resistant on all materials. I hope that at least if I write it down now, I can always check back on this video and see what paint we used where. Let's start with the Schmincke Lino. Let's use the small one first. I haven't done this in a long time, so could be that I'm messing it up all on my own because of myself. But what I've heard is to maybe add a little water to make it less thick, and then do a thin layer on the stamp, and then is that acrylic in there? Was I stupid at some point? Just straight up used acrylic. Alright, here goes nothing. Okay, moment of truth. Hey! It worked! Oh my god! I'm so surprised. I think I'm going to try again and just load the stamp a lot more. Let's see. Okay, kinda the same. I think the cardboard might make it a little stripy, but you can see it here that it took the ink like stripy. But I heard that you should put some cardboard underneath it. But this is definitely something we will need to workshop for the finer t-shirts. Even though it's kind of faint, like if this does not wash out, if the Schmincke Aqua Lino paint does not wash out of the shirt like instantly when we put it in the wash, even though it's kind of faint, it is a good contender because it prints evenly except for the cardboard issue, which I like. So this is already nice. It was also nice to put it on. Didn't dry too fast in my opinion, at least for the small stamp. So yeah, great in my opinion. Exciting news! I was dreading this so much because I thought I would completely mess this up and it would be really hard to do because it was very hard for me the first time I tried this. But I think this is just a testament that sometimes time and doing other things and getting a little bit better at something and trying other crafts and arts, all of it will just contribute to your overall knowledge and prowess in making things, which I think is just so great. Because I haven't done lino printing in a long time, but it still kind of came together. So if you've been thinking about starting that project, I think you should, because if I can do this, what is stopping you? I just cleaned this haphazardly because I don't really think it matters, because all of the paints we will be using now will be water-based, so I don't think I can mess up too much in the chemistry of the paint. But otherwise I would go to the next one, and I would just like to try the normal fabric paint for our next try, because in like drying far too fast so that you couldn't properly work with it, and I don't know, just not good memories. Maybe it was user error all along back in the day. Ooh. Kinda crusty and thick. This is so much thicker than the Schmincke Lino paint. And I even added water to the Schmincke one, so. Also there was like rose water body spray in here, and so it always smells faintly like rose, which is really nice. I'm not too sure what to think about how this applies just on this plastic. Let's do the same thing we did earlier with the Schmincke. Do a thin layer and then do a little bit of a thicker layer on top. I'm really nervous for this one. It looks really thick. I might have put on too much and that the details will get lost. Ooh, yeah. So much paint just for that. Damn. Okay, second try. Used more water, made it thinner. Oh, okay. This is very different. I mean, I don't even like painting with it that much. It also looks weird and doesn't do what I wanted. But oh god, yeah. I think as far as just from like how much I like printing with it, this one, oh my god, I misspelled the name. Marabu, the off-brand Marabu paint. I don't like the way it looks. I much more prefer the Schmincke up here. As I was saying before my phone just died on me randomly, I cleaned this because I didn't want the paint from earlier to clog up the ridges, so that now we have the best parameters going forward. The next paint we're using is also from Marabu, the textile printing ink, which is for screen printing actually, but I didn't know that, or I ignored it because I thought it wouldn't make much of a difference. In English it also says fabric printing ink, so I thought this will be fine for block printing. But now let's get it on the slab, test it out and see if that actually is the case. Better, in my opinion, but now it's just a little runny. So I think these two are actually not good for block printing as I thought they would be, which is a shame. The Schmincke Aqua Lino normal Lino paint, Lino ink. Then we have the Marabu Textile Plus. And we have the Marabu Textile Print. These are the three I'm going to get done today. I think this is the perfect time to cut it off here. This was already a great experiment and I'm so happy I finally did it because it really helped me overcome my fear of this gigantic project of printing on textiles. This has really boosted my confidence now. This is the perfect time to take a break on this because I'm also now leaving to see my family for the weekend, so this can all get properly dry and have the best conditions to then be heat set. We can then compare really fairly. So I'm really happy I got this done. I'm so happy you joined me, and now I'm not so afraid to just have some fun, experiment, and I'll see you in the next few clips where we are going to test out the rest of the paints and then hopefully heat set and then wash it and then review it, and then wow, this is a big project because then we need to design a new design and carve the new design and then print the new design. All right. After showing you a few short impressions of what I did at the thrift, I would really like to go with you through the few goodies that I got there. So let's have a look at the haul. I got 3 t-shirts that I think will be great for printing on. They are mostly cotton or 100% cotton. This is a organic cotton tee, just in white. Then we have a dark red t-shirt with a little pocket here. And next, another white t-shirt. But that's not all, but the other stuff is unrelated to my printing adventure. That is my teeny tiny haul. Now that we've sourced our fabrics to print on, I think soon we can start testing. Yay!
No, I hate Turnsackerl, please.
Schwarze Turnsackerl.
No, no.
Schwarze Totebags mit goldenem Ding drauf. Zuerst weiß drunter und dann Gold drauf.
That sounds like Glöckler aesthetic, I have to say.
Hm?
Schwarz mit Gold sounds like Glöckler.
So today I want to thank myself for sponsoring this video. Thank you to me for taking the time, energy and effort to sit down and do this for me as a creative practice and as an endeavor to find knowledge for myself, and also for you so that you can enjoy watching this and maybe also learn something from this. Since the sponsor wanted me to say this in the video, I really have to say it. In this age of AI specifically, it is very important to take the time to practice something and to not get frustrated with it when you're not good at it. And sometimes that takes a really long time. I have been attempting this whole printing on fabric thing before and failed. It frustrated me, but I didn't want to abandon it completely, and I also didn't want somebody else to just make it for me. Here I am again. Sometimes it's weeks later, sometimes it's months later. In this case, it's years later, and I'm trying again. Just endure that you're not capable of it maybe right now, but if it's a passion, you will be capable, and you don't need a machine to do the thinking for you. And you deserve the time and effort it takes to make something, even if it's bad. Tell that to the critic in your head, because I do. That was the word from today's sponsor, and I'm really happy if you stuck with me through this little bit of having a sponsor, so thank you. Let's get on with testing and printing and doing our thing. See ya. So today we're going to wash, dry and iron the test shirts and see if anything washed out and how well it went. It is wrap up time. So let's have a look at the final end result after washing and ironing the shirt. And let's talk about what went well and what didn't go so well, and what I think of the entire process and how I would like to move on in the future. Of course, in my opinion, the speedball that is made for block printing on fabric like this worked the best overall, which I'm happy about because it means shopping the right supplies means getting the best outcome overall. I think if you only had the textile ink or textile paint and the textile printing ink, you could make it work if you tested it further. I think using a sponge is definitely something that works the best. And if you need more colors and don't have any of them at home, or you don't want to buy a lot of colors, but you may already have a set of oil paints, or you could get them very cheaply, because the set that I used of oil paints is a very cheap one, I think. I think you could also very well use the oil paints to get some cute designs and to get some color in there. It works surprisingly well. You just have to be careful with cleaning up the entire thing and how to get rid of the oil paint. The Schmincke Aqua Lino was the nicest to work with for me, but it also washed out the most. I think the Schmincke one is a very good one for printing on paper. I like it very much for that and have used it before, but sadly it just really washes out. So if you only have normal lino ink at home that is not in any way, shape or form meant to be put on fabric, I don't think you're going to have a good time if like half your design washes out, I really have to say. These are my opinions on the different materials that we tried out. It took me forever to put this video together. I'm very slow, so I'm really glad that I finally could put all of this together, and I'm also really happy that I finished doing this, because now I just feel so much more confident in getting to part 2, in which I would really like to get more blanks to really print on them and then really get into printing. And I also want to make some new designs, so these would all be things that I would like to share with you in a second video. It might take some time until I get this out to you again, but if you're interested, it would be a great help to me if you subscribed and maybe even hit the notification bell so you won't miss it once I upload the second part. And give this video a like and leave a comment about what you think about all this, if you could have predicted that the Schmincke would wash out, or if you knew that the speedball would be great, because I heard about it being great, but I didn't know. So just leave me your opinion in the comments down below. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you around another time for another video. Bye. Spoken today. I have